Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency. I have been waiting for 2 hours to tell you this. This is not a joke. A private investigator was caught. Open it immediately," Archangel Michael says. "This is not something you can ignore anymore." A private investigator had been caught near your vicinity, and what he had in his possession has shut to even the heavens. The evidence found in his bag connects directly to your name, your address, and disturbing secrets he wasn't supposed to find. The tension is boiling. For 2 hours, Archangel Michael has waited patiently for your spirit to align so you can be told this in the right moment. Now that moment has arrived, and every second beyond this delay only increases the risk you are in. Do not underestimate this message. This private investigator was not working alone. He was hired, trained, and sent by someone close to you who wanted truths uncovered that even you were never told. But the frightening twist is this: the real reason he was watching you wasn't to discover your secrets, but to manipulate what he found into a weapon. When Archangel Michael moved his hand to protect you, it disrupted the investigator's plans. What was discovered in that moment unraveled a deeper plot that someone very close to you had been building. You're not just the subject, they wanted you to become the victim. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The investigator had been watching for weeks. His car was parked down the street, hidden in plain sight, and camera flushed by everyday normality. Yet inside that vehicle were cameras, files, printouts, and detailed notes on your daily movements, private meetings, and intimate conversations. He was watching your expressions. He took photos when you were laughing, crying, resting, or speaking with someone in trust. His job wasn't just surveillance, it was spiritual sabotage. What he didn't expect was divine interference. When the angelic frequency around you began to intensify, his body started reacting, sweating, shaking, losing clarity of thought. Archangel Michael hovered over the vehicle, whispering divine commands to confuse the enemy's intentions. The enemy who paid this man knew something about your past. Something you were not supposed to know yet, something that had been buried deep under the decisions of two people you trust the most. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The truth is heavy, but it cannot be delayed any longer. The private investigator's real mission was not only to gather intel on you, it was to deliver false evidence to a lawyer. That lawyer is preparing a file that could potentially destroy a portion of your inheritance, your image, and your future partnerships. The bag they recovered contained more than photographs. It had a list of names, some of which you know, and some of which you only heard in whispers. There were time stamps written in red, and one particular entry that reads, "Final delivery before midnight, subject still unaware." The person who funded this investigation has a connection to your early childhood. They have always seen you as a threat, not because you harmed them, but because your existence proves something they tried to erase from the record. They fear your memory, your glow, and your rising power. Comment if this message is speaking to your heart. Archangel Michael says, the angels have already sent energy to remove the spiritual residue left by this investigator. But the emotional damage will require your full awareness now. You have a right to know everything they were trying to bury behind your back. Tape Amen to get blessing April 1944. There is a woman involved in this setup. She visited the investigator personally at a cafe 3 blocks from your street. She handed him a sealed envelope, cash, documents, and one photograph of you taken 2 years ago during a significant moment in your life. That photo was not on social media. That photo was taken during a private trip where you made a spiritual breakthrough, and you remember feeling something odd in your chest that day, as if you were being watched. Now you know why. Your energy has always been magnetic. They are afraid you are going to discover something ancestral, something bloodline linked, and this will change the story forever. It's why they sent someone from the outside to track you without your inner circle noticing. The investigator kept 2 digital drives. One was encrypted and hidden in his car. The other was sent to a contact. That contact tried to open it, but divine interference corrupted the file. And now they are panicking. Type Amen to get blessing 717. One of the most shocking revelations found in his journal was a dream he recorded. He wrote that he saw a blue light hovering above your home, and it told him, "You're trespassing on divine land." He thought it was a hallucination. It was Archangel Michael. Your home is covered in spiritual protection, and that's the only reason the investigator didn't make it inside. He tried on multiple nights, but every time, something made him turn around. Sudden sirens, lights flickering, or neighbors showing up unexpectedly. You are more protected than you realize. Well, the people who paid him haven't stopped. They are trying to find someone new now because they believe the window of secrecy is closing. That window is closing, because your destiny is opening. Comment below if you feel this message confirms what your heart has been sensing. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They wanted your confidence shaken. But instead, your entire plan has unraveled before your very eyes. The angels have reversed the arrows and are now sending the evidence back to its origin. The investigator has confessed to the authorities, not all, but enough to trace the line back to the one who hired him. The authorities are now watching them. Archangel Michael says, "Their days of watching you are ending, and yours of rising are just beginning." In a twist of divine judgment, the very files they compiled on you are now going to be used against them. They underestimated your light. They thought no one was watching over you. But they didn't know Archangel Michael had already intervened. Your story is being rewritten now. In the background, angels are organizing meetings, alignments, and new doors for justice, visibility, and restoration. Type Amen to get blessing January 2012. The woman who paid for this investigation has a deep grudge tied to jealousy. She cannot stand the way others are drawn to your energy. She was once close to you, even smiled in your presence, but her heart turned cold when she realized you carry something she can never buy. You must stay alert, not paranoid but divinely aware. The investigators' photos were going to be shown in a closed meeting, but the bag never made it there. Angels routed it just in time. That's why Archangel Michael says this message couldn't wait. Every second you delayed in opening it was a second the enemy was hoping you'd miss what you didn't. You're awake now, and nothing can stop the truth from spilling forward. Comment if you feel a shift has just taken place. Type Amen to get blessing 1. They are afraid you will speak up. Afraid you will reclaim the truth they tried to bury. But this message is your confirmation that heaven is on your side and your silence will break no longer. There's a second list in the investigators' files. It holds names of people who were manipulated into turning against you. One by one, their eyes are being opened. The fog is clearing. Conversations are being replayed in their minds. They are starting to see you were innocent all along. The investigator confessed that he felt uneasy every time he followed you. That's because your spirit sent off a divine alarm. Heaven alerted every realm that something unjust was happening. You were never alone. Archangel Michael says, you are not the victim, they are. Because they've touched something they shouldn't have, and the divine consequences are beginning to show. Type Amen to get blessing. January-February 2021. Your home must now be cleansed. The presence left behind by spiritual surveillance leaves subtle residue, unrest, unease, fatigue, and spiritual noise. Archangel Michael will now dispatch angelic warriors to clear this completely from your atmosphere. Light a candle, open your windows, and speak your name aloud with confidence. This signals the divine that you are aware and ready to receive the protection and elevation that was delayed. They had you mapped, tracked, and labeled, but they never had your permission. And heaven has now revoked their access. The energy they tried to steal is returning to you sevenfold. Comment I claim my power back if you feel this word deep in your soul. Type Amen to get blessing. 555. Your sleep has not been deep for the past few nights, and now you know why. That invisible pressure was not a coincidence. Your spiritual interference was attempting to weaken your boundaries, but your soul resisted. Your spirit remained anchored. The investigator will not be returning, his contract hath been spiritually severed, and legal consequences will follow soon. But be prepared, because now they may try to use someone else. This time emotionally, not professionally. Watch who suddenly wants to reconnect. Watch who calls at strange hours. Watch who brings you gossip dressed as concern. Archangel Michael says, now is not the time for careless conversations. You must protect your energy like sacred gold. Type Amen to get blessing. March 1930. The investigator tried to dig into your past, but instead, he uncovered a spiritual prophecy. He realized there was a scroll, a prophecy tied to your name. That prophecy mentioned a shift coming on a day very soon. The day you rise publicly and their web falls apart. There's still one more person whose name you will hear within the next 3 days. This person pretended to be neutral, but was quietly helping the woman orchestrate everything. They're about to be exposed. Archangel Michael says, do not retaliate. Let heaven handle the exposure. All you have to do now is stand in your light, stand in your power, and prepare to receive the favor you were born to carry. If this aligns with your spirit, comment I receive the truth. Type Amen to get blessing. 2020. You were never meant to be silenced. You were meant to be a revelation. And now the time has come for the truth to set you fully free. The investigator's confession has already changed the game. Legal shifts, family confrontations, and financial release will start triggering one by one. You are now walking into the moment your enemies feared. Stand tall, watch closely, and don't give in to fear, because the angels have taken your case directly into heavenly court. You will win. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Their web of deception has begun unraveling with supernatural speed. People who once believed lies about you are now beginning to feel deep unease. Whispers are circling, and eyes are opening because the truth that was once hidden is coming out like a storm with no mercy. This is not the end. It is the turning point. The investigator's notes are already being reviewed by divine hands and earthly authority. The woman who paid for this twisted mission is under energetic surveillance. And she feels it. Her sleepless nights are only beginning. She never imagined the spiritual blowback would be this severe. What she sent to harm you has returned to her tenfold. The energy she put into destroying you is now sinking her own foundation brick by brick. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Your ancestors are awake now. They have joined forces with Archangel Michael to protect your legacy. They have whispered your name into sacred fires and are making sure your future remains untouched by the wicked plans of others. Here is a map you will dream about soon. That map shows where this all began and where your next blessing will come from. Look closely when it comes to you. It holds signs that only your soul will recognize. You'll begin to notice people who were once silent will now reach out to apologize. Some won't even know why they feel the urge to make things right. It's divine influence working through their conscience. The world is shifting in your favor. The woman behind this thought she could break you, but what she did instead was activate a part of you that had been sleeping. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. Your next move will be desperation. She may attempt to play the victim. She might cry, pretend to make peace, or send someone in her place. You not be deceived. Her mask is cracking, and what lies behind it is a soul burning with envy. The investigator's phone was retrieved. In it were text messages, voice memos, and strange photos taken with intent to humiliate you. But now they are being used as evidence against her. The lies she wanted to publish will now be read by those who will bring justice. You are walking into a new chapter where your voice, truth, and name will be protected fiercely. Archangel Michael has assigned warrior angels to follow you. Wherever your feet touch, they will stand guard. A lawyer will call soon, one that is meant to help, not harm. It will bring you insight about something you thought was lost forever. Type Amen to get blessing 1. The files the investigator had also include a document that reveals something powerful, a hidden signature. It belongs to a man who once promised to support you, but sold you out for gain. He was involved. He received a payment. He betrayed your trust in silence. But here's the twist, his guilt is starting to eat away at his peace. The angels are working through dreams, showing him images of your pain and the spiritual court that awaits him if he doesn't confess. Your name was almost used in a legal scandal that could have dragged you through mud. But Archangel Michael stepped in. He made a judge cancel a meeting last minute. He created a delay that saved you. Common truth is rising if you can feel the breakthrough already arriving. Type Amen to get blessing 636. You will soon notice your surroundings feeling lighter. It's because the dark presence that once hovered around had been forcefully removed. The air will feel still, your thoughts clearer, and your energy will return with strength. You are being guided now with divine timing. Certain doors are closing with a slam because they were traps in disguise. But others, shining golden doors are opening without you even knocking. The people who laughed behind your back when the investigators sent fake information to them are now confused. They're realizing the story doesn't add up, and soon, they'll be forced to apologize. Archangel Michael says, let them come to you. You don't have to chase anything anymore. Your light is enough. I pay men to get blessing 505. There's someone watching all of this unfold quietly. They haven't said anything, but they are taking mental notes. This person is powerful, connected to networks you aren't even aware of, and they are impressed by your grace under pressure. You are about to be elevated, not just in healing but in position. Opportunities you once dreamed of will now come chasing after you, not because of luck, but because of divine alignment. You are not who they painted you to be, you are far greater. Your version of your story was written in shadow. But heaven is writing your truth in gold. A document with your name on it is being edited now by someone on your side. Their pen is blessed, the outcome will surprise you. Type Amen to get blessing 303. The people who followed false narratives are embarrassed. They don't know how to face you now. Some are afraid, some want forgiveness. Others will pretend like nothing happened, but you will know who is genuine by the vibration in their tone. Let peace be your compass. Not everyone deserves access again. You may find new people entering your life now, people who are drawn to your strength, integrity, and spiritual frequency. They will honor what others ignored. They will uplift what others tried to bury. Comment, I welcome divine connection if you are ready for the new souls heaven is sending your way. Type Amen to get blessing 848. The investigator's final entry in his personal notes was simple, yet haunting. This one is protected. I don't know how to explain it. He knew. Deep down, he realized he was no match for divine justice. What the enemy meant for destruction has now become your testimony, a testimony that will inspire others who have been secretly attacked or targeted unfairly. You are being called to lead. Maybe not loudly at first, but your presence alone will speak volumes. Where you walk, truth follows. Where you speak, clarity enters. Where you stand, shadows flee. The woman behind it all, her own circle is turning against her doubt. What she used to hide will soon be broadcast in ways she never imagined. Type a Mentigate blessing July 2017. They tried to ruin your name. But now your name is about to be honored. Heaven is orchestrating a redemption so loud. Even your enemies will be silenced by it. You will soon be invited to a space where your story will be heard fully. No filters, no lies, no manipulations. Someone important will listen, and from that meeting, a door will swing open that no man can close. Archangel Michael says you're not meant to go backward ever again. This message was your final warning to close the door on anything and anyone who was tied to this investigation. You have been cleared in the spiritual realm. And out comes the reward. Type Amen to get blessing 4004. There will be one more sign sent within 48 hours. It might come through a dream, a stranger's words, or a repeated number. When you see it, pause and say, I claim the truth. I welcome justice. A divine scroll carrying your new assignment is being opened. You will walk into new clarity, and the pressure you once felt will be replaced by divine flow. your strength has reached heaven, and your name has been echoed in the halls of angels. The investigator may have been the messenger of deception, but now, you are the voice of restoration. You are no longer being watched by enemies. You are now being watched by destiny. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your timeline is shifting right now, even as you breathe. The forces that were once stacked against you are scattering, disarmed by divine command. Archangel Michael stands with his sword drawn, severing every invisible chain that this investigator's work tried to lock around your destiny. There was one file labeled Last Attempt in the investigator's tablet. It contained a manipulated image meant to discredit you, but when the image was opened, it corrupted the entire folder. This was not a glitch, it was the divine code at work. No weapon formed against you was allowed to prosper. The energy behind that image had been reversed. The face that will be questioned now is not yours, it's the face of the one who orchestrated the deceit. Archangel Michael says, your enemies are being silenced not by rage, but by revelation. Typing in to get blessing 1144 whisper is turning into a roar. The people who were neutral are starting to take signs. And this time, they are standing with you, the scale is tipping in your favor. Expect a southern phone call. Expect a name you haven't heard in a while to pop up in conversation. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. You will hear that someone tried to clear their name by throwing yours under the bus, but the bus reversed, and now their lies are being pulled apart piece by piece. You are walking through fire, but you are not burning. You are being refined. Comment I stand with divine fire if you feel this breakthrough moving already. Type Amen to get blessing 626. There was a letter that was meant to reach you. The investigator had instructions to intercept it before you ever saw it. But heaven intervene. That letter hath been rerouted. It is coming to you soon. Inside it is a truth about a family member that changes everything you thought you knew about your own bloodline. They were trying to keep you in the dark. But Archangel Michael is revealing all things. Nothing shall remain hidden under the angelic flame that now surrounds your name. You were chosen not just to survive, but to expose, rebuild, and lead others out of their silence. Type Amen to get blessing April 1945, the woman who led this against you as a weak spot. It's not power, it's exposure. She cannot withstand the truth. That's why she hid behind others, paying them to do what she couldn't dare do herself. But her name is coming to light in legal documents. A witness is about to step forward. One who was part of the operation, but who no longer wants to live with guilt. Prepare your spirit. The moment this name is revealed publicly, the entire story will flip and you will be asked to speak, not in defense, but in declaration. You are no longer the subject of someone else's story, you are the author of your own legacy. Type Amen to get blessing February 1929. Someone is watching your glow from afar. Not everyone is your enemy. Some have been observing silently. Admiring how you handle pressure without breaking, one of them is about to come forward with a divine offer. This offer is not about money. It's about power, influence, and justice. It's about helping you amplify your voice in a way the enemy never wanted to see. This person has access to networks and platforms. They will ask for your story, not to use it, but to honor it. They will help restore what others tried to steal. Archangel Michael says, walk through this next door with confidence. Your voice is needed. Comment I'm ready for elevation if this word stirs something in your soul. I pay men to get blessing 800 date your name was written in false records, but those records have been burned. Spiritually, the ledger had been rewritten. Legally, the evidence is falling apart. Energetically, you are being restored. You will soon notice that your energy no longer feels grain, the spiritual weight has been lifted. A golden glow will return to your aura. People will see it without knowing what it is. The investigator's confession included details that stunned even those who hired him. He mentioned dreams, angelic encounters, and a sense of remorse he couldn't shake. This is how you know. Your spiritual field is so strong, even your enemies feel convicted near it. I pay men to get blessing 4444. There is a sacred moment coming, a public clearing. The truth will no longer be whispered behind closed doors. It will be announced, written, and acknowledged. And when it happens, you won't feel anger. You will feel release. Because this is not about revenge. It's about restoration. You will look back at this season and say, thank you for showing me who I really am. Not the version they tried to paint, but the anointed soul rising beyond what was meant to destroy you. A celebration is being prepared in the spirit realm. It carries your name. It is being written on scrolls of gold. Type Amen to get blessing 111 soon. You will feel a presence enter your room. A breeze, a light touch, a soft sound. This is not your imagination. It's the angel assigned to begin the final phase of cleansing. Speak aloud, I receive what is mine. I reject what is false. I rise into my truth. These words activate the blessing attached to your divine scroll. You are not crazy, you are not overreacting. What happened was real and heaven recorded every moment of it. And now, heaven is about to reward every second you held your head high through it. Type Amen to get blessing 6666. You will no longer have to explain yourself to people who never intended to understand you. The story will speak for itself. The evidence will expose the schemes, and your silence will become your greatest strength. The investigator tried to play God with your life, but he forgot who really holds the power. And now, he's a witness in your story, not a threat. The woman who led this operation will soon feel the weight of her actions, not through you, but through the spiritual forces now working behind the scenes. Forgiveness is for your healing, but justice is for your future. Type Amen to get blessing 909. What you endured in secret is now becoming the foundation of your public rise. You are not a victim of surveillance. You are a testimony of divine protection. Archangel Michael says, the final chapter of this spiritual attack had been written. Now begins the chapter of your reward. Open your heart. A wave of new energy is coming. Love, clarity, support, and peace will flood every place where fear once lingered. Your time has come. If you wish to express your support further,